Hey everybody, it's Funny here once again. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm rambling about the noise engineering Lapsus Os. It sounds like this. Okay, before we jump into this one, I'm going to go through the demo patch and then we'll talk about the module itself. So what you were hearing, most of it was controlling the vortices, and I wanted to sort of my, shtick of this video that I wanted to do was like, hey, vortices doesn't have faders, lots of features on board, which I love, but no room for faders, obviously. What if I wanted to have some faders? Well, you get them on the Lapsus Os. So first channel is, hold on, I'll get to that in a moment. So first channel of the Lapsus Os is controlling the first stereo voice, which is the synth voice, and you can hear that. I have this hooked up to the oscilloscope because I want to just demonstrate all the different functions, but we'll get to that in a second. So that one is channel 1 of the stereo inputs. Sorry, it's a rat's nest in there. Channel 2 is my drum mix. So hey, look, I almost have faders like you would have on some other Hero Rack mixers. And then I do have one of the, I didn't assign all 4 channels of the drum mix, though you could. I just took my kick, or I just control the kick with one of these channels. So here we go with the kick. So these are all in unipolar mode, and I'm going to go into all of that in a moment, but I wanted to show this last one is in bipolar mode, and it is controlling the DJ filter on the Ghost. And what that means is positive voltage will send it into the high pass territory, and negative into the low pass. I thought that was a fun performance tool. Okay, now that we've done all that. Let's put this back on the stand. What is it? I have the first channel hooked up into the oscilloscope so you can see what's going on. Let's get the other cables out of the way. 10 HP. 4 channel with multiple outputs. You'll notice I stole the dual outputs idea for my Dream LFO module, sort of inspired by the Lapsus Os, but hey, if you're paying that close attention, I'd be surprised. Turn my voice up a little bit. So it is normal to 5 volts, and that is sort of what I think is my core use, and probably most, although it is also attenuator, which we'll get into that in a moment, but I think the core use for it is going 0 to 5 volts using the normalized output. So I can just output 5 volts and use that for control, like I just demonstrated, using it as a VCA. But then there's a bipolar mode, so negative voltage, not going to do anything in this patch because VCA can't go negative past 0, obviously, but when you get past noon, then it'll go up 2.5 volts, as you see in the oscilloscope here, crossing through 0 and getting in the negative territory. But like that demonstration I just did, you saw the Ghost that can take negative voltage spanning between those. So really simple, really straightforward on that front, and that I really appreciate, genuinely. If there's anything I could sing the gospel about in Eurorack, it would be the simplicity is very appreciated. So, also Attenverter mode. Okay, so there's a couple different Attenverter modes. Let's get our LFO coming in here now. So instead of my normal 5 volt, I'm replacing it with an LFO from the Maestro. In it goes here. And all the way at the bottom, we have 0. And then fading it in unipolar mode. And again, you get 2 outputs. So again, this is like one of the things I struggled with. I did end up putting the asset next to the Maestro, but I was kind of like, oh, it's nice to be able to mult it too and attenuate it, right? But not only can you do that, and it's really nice to see the LED indicates the outputted voltage too, right? Not the incoming. So you can see nothing at the bottom, obviously, but your LFO can see it there. And I know that sounds stupid, but like little things like that really help me out. So unipolar mode, now I'm sending that voltage negative and attenuating it fully in the middle, but then you can attenuate a positive too, which is interesting because if I took that and patch that back into my Ghost, forgive me, it's super loud, let's put that back into the cutoff CV, I could send modulation in that way as well. You know what I am saying? But I don't hear it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we'll bring that in. So now in the bipolar mode, setting an LFO, cut off, send that LFO positive. Because I thought, why would you want a bipolar attenuator? This is why. Ready? Now, low pass. High pass. Bypass. Right? But then, there's another mode as well, which is the offset mode. And I don't know, this is negative offset. So you can move your voltages. Watch the oscilloscope, right? We want that to be positive though, so I think this will output up to 10 volts. And right now this is a bad demonstration because I'm sending it modulation to the cutoff. But what I want to be doing is sending it to the VCA. So let's hear that. All the way open, obviously, but so sidechaining, and this is kind of the obvious one. If we change this from a triangle wave to like a square, being a VCA, it'll probably fall off a little bit, but let's go to square. Sorry, that delay is a little wonky too, but here, adding a little bit of pump to my voice, right? So I think that's really interesting. And yeah, dual outputs as well. And if I could throw my 2 cents into the debate about which way you should put the Lapsus Os, I want this one. I'm surprised they labeled it that way. Because, yeah, there's switches on the back that can go either way. And I guess it depends on your patch too. But why would I want to reach over the cables, right? If it's going to be a performance tool, I want a fader. I want my faders at the bottom. Can you imagine a mixing console where the faders are like on top of the inputs? I don't know. But hey, these are just the things I don't actually care about. I just think it's funny to talk about. Yeah. If I could say anything about it, I wish that these cascaded. It would be cool to have send one LFO and then just have an array of attenuatable LFOs sending down the chain. Now, obviously, you could take a whole series of little patch cables and self-patch, obviously, right? You do get 2 outputs, so you could go boom, and then into the boom. This is the wrong one, but yeah, self-patching definitely possible. Lapsus Os is a awesome performance tool. Yeah, I don't know what else there's to say about this other than the feel of these isn't like the best. Sliders, and this is part of why I said not to worry about getting a Eurorack module with sliders too much, is because Eurorack sliders are always like not the best, and I understand they're like super expensive to make even at that. They're not the best. Just across the board, not unique to the Lapsus Os, but like, if you're particular about feel, then these certainly aren't going to be buttery or whatever adjective you want for that. So yeah, that's Lapsus Os. I swore I did a video on it, and then someone sent me an email saying, hey, you should do a video on Lapsus Os. And I was like, I already did one. No, I didn't. 150 episodes are almost at, and missed one, and we'll probably miss others. So